big jet just flew over. I don't know what he was spraying, but he let go with a hell of a bombardment and he made a giant circle. And it immediately started to turn into this big white cloud. And it was a military jet, twin engine, looked like a B-1B bomber.
April 13th, 2014. Guys, what you just heard was the original video that Mr. Leon Kane sent me from South Dakota. Now, I've never met the fella until yesterday. I got a phone call out of the clear blue sky, just like you're seeing here. What you're seeing is what's called a sun dog. Now, this is a chemtrail, but Leon and his wife were outside checking out this ring around the sun when this plane come buzzing up. And Leon, I don't know if you noticed your little buddy there buzzing through. Even the bees were bugging out. But the jet came in. He said it was a big bomber, like he said, I think a 151 or something. It came up under this sun dog and just curved and turned back out. Now, this guy, Mr. Kane, has a cattle farm there. This is one of the pictures. And what he did, he sent me the first video. Then they went and put two up on and got a YouTube channel, guys. And I'm going to link you to that and show it. But, guys, in the middle, it looks like it would be what you would call a lens flare, right? But you're seeing it in the clear sky, and that's what him and I were talking about on the phone. He said before the cameras you could see this thing. Now, the unusual thing about this sun dog, or phantom sun, is that it was straight up. It wasn't at sunset. It was not at sunrise. And 90% that's ever been recorded have been, again, either dusk or dawn there, where you're catching it kind of like a bright sun set. But, guys, you see the darker center there on the opposite side of the sun. On these sun dogs, that's how it will appear. But you see, this is Leon's site, the Arrow Sea Ranch, Leon Kane at Hot Springs, South Dakota. And when he called me, he was sitting out there looking at the Black Hills. But, guys, the ones that are bright and high above have been recorded, the Nuremberg Chronicles. But most of them, like here, Fargo, the ones that were noted, the different ones, you see it right there at sunset or sunrise. And it appears to have two suns on either side called phantom suns. And that's what Mr. Leon's got captured in this film, except his is straight up at 11 o'clock in the morning. The church made a tapestry of one that was so important they didn't want anyone to forget. And again, this one was not right at sunset. You see how they kind of added to where the movement of the sun was. But again, 90% are either at dusk or dawn. And with a lot of haze in the sky. But again, he got this on the 11th. And I want you to go to his, again, Arrow Sea Ranch on YouTube and check out his two updated ones with a lot more video in them. But on the 11th also, guys, is when the frames were removed during this event. Right after this, we had the big solar flare that we've been tracking the arrival time. Now, they never would update it, and I was kind of suspicious, to be honest with you, of the time going from the 11th until the 15th. That's a long time for CME to arrive, and I think what's happened is we're starting to see that now. But again, on the 11th, we saw this event, frames removed, and the sun, this is the solar blast that came out at that time. But guys, that glow on the left had been there for almost 24 hours, glowing before any of these events occurred. It just got brighter and brighter, and I feel very deeply that has something to do with that sun dog that Leon Kane saw. But again, I think this is the 13th. I think the time of arrival is now. Also, back on the 11th, guys, when we were tracking that, when Mr. Leon recorded it, we had the 6.6 quake. Now, this is the latest information from ACE. Notice the solar wind speed there is kicking up. These are in hours. These aren't days. These are minutes down below. These are the latest. You see that 10-minute increments. Also, your solar density is increasing. Let me show you the shorter chart. Here, your radial wind speed's kicked up. Your density is increased. Now, this is way after both of the 7-point quakes that we've seen in the Solomon Islands. But now this arrival time shows from the 13th to the 14th. I think this is the closest chart that we've got to use. Also, the 15th, the blood moon. I'm just kind of wrapping up this weekend, guys, here before Passover. We got the blood moon on Passover. Now, they're going to have this on the Coca-Cola Space Science Center webcast with Columbus State University. Guys, also during that time, we have a satellite that is called Lady that's going to crash into the moon. They were going to wait and crash it the 21st as it died out and get some lower atmospheric samples. But it's going to be behind it's going to be in the eclipse for over 4 hours, and it's supposed to freeze up. It's used to 45-minute cycles of darkness to where the solar panels are not out of the sunlight so far. But so now they're saying Lady is probably going to freeze and crash before the 21st. But now this is where it's going to be visible. You see the United States is one of the peak places there in the white on the left. Over Africa, India, that area, you're not going to see it. No eclipse visible. But this is going to be in the U.S. event, North and South American event, Canada, Hawaii, and across. You guys in Australia and all, if you look in the bottom right, you may see part of this or angles of it. But this gives you your time and universal time, and notice just match your numbers, P1, P4, U4 to the top right. It'll give you your arrival time on that. That's happened. Then, one of my favorite things I've ever seen in the world, and Alex Jones and David Knight here in the middle have become my journalistic heroes. David, I've been out in that desert filming. I know you were it was a lot of heat. But David Knight walked right up in with these cowboys, faced off the SWAT team. And it's got to do with Harry Reid, Bureau of Land Management, the Walton Foundation. And it's got to do with this. The nations were angry. We're starting to see this, and the wrath has come, and the time of the dead that should be judged. But guys, the nations are angry. And when America gets angry, it's kind of like the boiling point. What did Japan say when they bombed Pearl Harbor? He said, "We have awakened a sleeping giant." Guys, I'm going to link to Alex's video, the best video that's ever been put on YouTube, possibly the best video ever made. Him and David Knight did an excellent job. Everyone go watch it and thumbs up on it. You're looking at a great American moment just before Passover. P.S. Guys, the stock markets are in trouble. Talked about the table of the money changers being turned over before Passover. Monday is going to be a telltale event. 3 days the world markets have collapsed. Heads up, be safe.